Hello there, Tiss here, with not so much a plan today as a couple of rules to follow. Well, more like loose guidelines. First off, I want to try to knock out as many quests off my log as I can. And I started with 19, see how low I can get that. I also do not want to leave the Springlands, or more to the point, I'm not going back to Revelwood. Not this time. So I start off with a nice easy quest I've been ignoring, because of that guy. And others just like him downstairs. I will say, having them actually occupying a space in the wall when they're hiding in the walls instead of just clipping through, it's a level of detail that I'm not used to seeing. Take a moment to admire that level of detail and squirm the rest of the way through the tomb, where I find my reward. Yay! A building block I will probably never use. But hey, at least now I know how to make it, so if I change my mind, I don't have to come back. The next quest I go for takes me out near the Hunter's Vault, where I find this tiny little camp that's not even big enough to make a mark on the map. But it does demand my attention. And inside I find a fossil. Well, I don't know what it's good for, but it says it's collectible. So that means I'll probably stash it in storage back home and forget it exists. Side trip dealt with. Time to move on. Now somehow I've got it in my mind that this shroud obelisk I'm looking for is actually in the shroud. And there does appear to be a structure over there at about the right spot. So I move in. I don't find an obelisk here, but I do find a glowing searchable at the top of the structure. Gotta check that out. Hey look! More building blocks, and a recipe to go with them. And good news, I'll probably use these blocks. Still, this isn't what I was looking for. So, I backtrack, climb a mountain that looks like it's gonna overlook the marker I was looking for, and decide I'm just gonna glide all the way to the obelisk. Well, apparently I underestimated how much stamina that was gonna take. Rather than fall to my death, I decided to get as close to the ground before running out of stamina as possible. I mean, really, why would I do the sensible thing and save the last of my stamina for landing when I could just faceplant the ground at high speeds and take no damage? I mean, it's not realistic, but it's a lot of fun. And now that I've reached the obelisk, I find a camp here, where I find another fossil. And a lore entry that gives me a new quest. Hey, it wants me to find some more obelisks. Yeah, in 3 other regions that are not Springlands. And the very first one is Revelwood. Yep, not happening. Not today. So I'm getting a little bored of questing. Decide to check out some unexplored points of interest on the map. I almost missed this one. Didn't realize it was so high up. But when I see it's a shroud route, I get really happy. Adds another skill point in the bag. So I check out this other one. Now this one I almost investigated when I was initially exploring around the Alchemist Vault. Maybe I should have. Another skill point would have been nice back then. Still, I'm starting to think at this point that it pays to get lost in this game. Testing that theory, I go down another spider-infested tomb, this time having to deal with traps, and the fact it doesn't ever show up on the map. But I come out with a ring that's an upgrade over what I had. I didn't think I could get any more upgrades here in Springlands. Yep, I feel like I'm being rewarded for actually exploring. But it's time to get back to questing, and I have the perfect quest. Yeah, I have a quest to place another flame altar. A flame altar is a base, and I always did want to have another base here in Springlands, an official base. And actually, I kinda wanted it in this area. I just need the perfect place. Ah, yes, on this tiny little ledge. That'll work. Now, I'm not ready to build just yet, but now I can fast travel back when I am. When I am ready to build, it's gonna take some building blocks, and that means more resources. Like hardwood. And when I see this tiny little copper vein, I can't help it. I have to dig. Until my pick breaks. Okay, so I had to go to Revelwood for these resources. But, it was just a quick jaunt. And I'm back home now. Making a new shield, because I realized that cheap wooden one I had was still something I crafted by hand. And this one's got poison resistance. Yep, and it looks pretty nice. Emboldened by my new gear, I decided to do a quest that involves hunting scavengers. Now this one's not in Revelwood, so there shouldn't be any nasty surprises, I hope. And clearing the camp goes smoothly until I get to the middle, where I find a lore entry telling me about some new creature that uses a lot of poison. A creature that has a boss health bar and is stomping around right above me. Perfect. So I move in. And it doesn't take me long to get poisoned. That poison really is nasty. It almost kills me even with a health potion. I have to retreat to start with. When I move back in, suddenly start acting like it. Then I get poisoned again. And suddenly remember I have a shield with poison resistance. I just have to get it out. While I'm healing, I remember that I have better arrows. So I switch to those and use that for the rest of the fight. Yeah, I still spend too much time shooting stuff. With that out of the way, I decide I'm really itching to go back to Revelwood, but not today. Instead, I decide to do one last quest, upgrading my grappling hook, which brings me down to 19. Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but it's been a pretty busy day. And with that, I certainly hope I've been a pleasant enough distraction for you. If so, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want. I'd love to hear from you. We'll catch you next time.